I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Father God, I thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for this school. I thank you for this community, Father. Just help us to make good decisions for the kids and help us to take care of business in a way that you want us and would be proud of us. Please forgive us for failure. Amen.
Amen.
Calling this meeting to order. Note that we do have a quorum present with only one absence. Next item on the agenda is recognition of Students of the Month. The board will come forward.
All right, Miss Howe, you brought a whole crew
I
today.
sure did. Okay, so we have something new this year. We're calling it Soaring Cardinals. So we have it once a 6 weeks, and for the first 6 weeks, we have quite a few here tonight. So I'm just going to call your name, and as I call your name, if you'll come up here and you'll shake all of these men's hand, and then after we're done, we're going to go out into the foyer and we're going to have a picture with everybody together, okay? So first for pre-K, Miss Pate. So these students, let me tell a little bit about, they're chosen by their teacher for their academic and their behavior goals inside and outside of the classroom. And so the teacher could choose either 1 or 2 students to be a Soaring Cardinal for the 6 weeks. So starting with Miss Pate in pre-K is Grayson Boykin.
Maybe pre-K started off.
Give him a high five. Give him a high five. Yeah. Go around. Go around.
There you go.
So, good job.
All right. Good work.
All right. And next is Emmy Ponder. That's okay.
Yeah, good work.
Next for pre-K from Ms. Hicks' class is Harper McAnally.
Please let me go shake their hands.
Okay. Look, don't look scary, I promise. Say hi.
Congratulations.
No,
Nope.
you not gonna do it?
No,
No
no.
fist bump? Okay, all right, that's okay.
Good work, good work.
All right, next in pre-K is Harper Hearn. You give him a high five. You give him a high five. Or fist bump.
Good job.
That's it.
Good work.
Bloody big hard like
There
mine.
you go.
Good job.
That's it. Good job. Next in pre-K for Miss Stewart's class, or sorry, kindergarten in Miss Stewart's class is Trenton Helms.
A lot of people here. I'm with you.
High five, fist bump.
Good work. Good job. That's
You
good.
don't want to go.
One time again.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Good job.
Next in kindergarten is Ella Jones. In Miss Turner's class for kindergarten is Bradley Pittman.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
What's up, big dog?
Good job. You got no problem.
Absolutely.
Next is Anna Sanders from Miss Turner's class. First grade in Miss Carroll's class is Krista Lane. Next is Jackson Hudson for Miss Carol's class. For Miss Cole's class in first grade is Zane Hawley.
Warm it up.
Michelle Foster for Miss Cole's class. Miss Epperson's class, second grade, is Michael Backel. And then second grade, Miss Epperson, Brandy Foster. Miss Norris, second grade class, Tegan Sino. Miss Norris, second grade, Wade Gonzalez.
Yeah. Woo. You shake his hand. You shake his hand. 11-degree right here.
Michelle Wyndham's class is going to be third grade, Ava Amos. Miss Westbrook's third grade class, Tristan Cole.
Keep that very, very low. Good job.
For Miss Gaines, fourth grade, and from Miss Hudgens is Miranda Whitfield. Miss Land's fourth grade class is Rustin Gray. Miss Bolick, fifth grade class, Caden Montgomery. And last but not least, from Miss Cooper is Roman Stewart. And these are our first 6 weeks Soaring Cardinals.
Okay. Ms. Howell, I know you're finished, I'm gonna go ahead and start. All right, for the middle school, our 6th grade student of the month is Memphis Tubbs. Was voted student of the month for the fact that he made several contributions this month. One that I've called you doing regularly is holding the door for some people. Here you go, Memphis. All right. Our 7th grade student of the month who was calling lines and may not be back yet, Mason Sanders, there she is. All the way. Into. With a little ruckus with that. Our 8th grade student of the month, Lauren Wall. I'm gonna have to tell you that Mr. Fannin had a heavy dose of voting on this one. He was very high on Lauren. Said that she does outstanding work, which I have seen myself. Thank you. Our freshman student of the month, Miss Brooklyn Osborne. 2 teachers said how hard she's been working in class.
Congratulations.
I was like, hey. That must come from Crystal, not Mercy.
We'll work on that.
Our sophomore student of the month, Mr. Adrian Benalis. And again, another hardworking student, according to Ms. Harrell, said he is extremely intelligent, and he is hiding it. Our sophomore student of the month, our junior student of the month, Mr. Chris Henderson. You'll know him as the man who makes the loudest sound in band. The drum line.
Congratulations.
He makes it go. As someone once told me, the pulse of the band. And he got back to football, Devin Myrtle. Coach Turner was rolling them. All right. And then our staff member of the month, the guy who has volunteered graciously for almost everything we do after school, and has started a club. We've been really proud of him trying to start a robotics club with our middle schoolers. Has gone above and beyond, Mr. Keith Litchfield. Here we go.
Well, I mean, he don't want to congratulate. What you hold up is not a high five.
All right.
Come on. He'll get one more.
Yeah, I'm sure I took my
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, the elementary staff member of the month is Miss Kara Sutton, nurse. She goes above and beyond to make sure that all of our kids are taken care of.
Good job.
Milford Pierce.
Thanks, Kara.
Well, you should be driving speed now.
All right. If you're going to my middle school, high school, if you'll come out here, we're going to take pictures.
Next item on the agenda is public comments. Seeing no one there. Communications.
All right, I see half of our principals here. October is National Principals Month. We certainly want to, recognize the job our principals do. It's a very difficult job, and we certainly couldn't get here and do all the things that we've been able to do without their work, their time, and their effort. So we certainly appreciate all that both of our principals do. Ms. Howe, particularly at the moment. Mr. Wyndham, when he returns, we'll make sure we thank him for that. But certainly, a difficult job, and both of our principals do an outstanding job. So thank you all very much.
Come around, we'll shake.
Principals of the month.
Principals.
Sure about that.
Yeah.
All right, next item is consent agenda. We have the minutes of the September 19th, 2022 regular meeting of the board, the monthly financial report, 2022 tax roll, and then item D, Bailey Neon and signs. Does any board member have anything they want to pull or discuss? Do we have a motion to accept items A through C as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion to say, all in favor, raise your right hand. is unanimous. Do we have a motion on item D?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous with one abstention. Trustee Bailey. Next item is information items, principal's report, and athletic director's report.
Okay, so you have your board report in front of you. You see our current enrollment is at 219. We have had a few leave and a few come in. I also know that we have a few more coming in. I know we'll get a new one tomorrow, so that one's not on the list, but we still have a few coming in. So you can see our attendance percentages. You will see that pre-K has taken a hit. There's definitely the strep and flu and the stomach bug going around, and it is not fun. So you can see that that has taken a hit on our pre-K class. Spotlights, we have done vision, hearing, and screenings on all of our pre-K, kinder, first, third, and fifth grade students. And they followed up, they're following up today and tomorrow on the ones that didn't pass, like to make sure, you know, that they've gotten what they need. So whether it be glasses or contacts or something of that nature. We are working hard in our classes. We're making the best to be a model cardinal, and you can see a lot of the stuff that's going on in our classrooms on the Facebook page. I didn't include all those pictures, but you're definitely more than welcome to look at all of those. We are talking about community helpers and career day in pre-K. They just finished that unit on Friday, and they went around and Friday before last, they did a community helpers and met all the different community people on campus. So they came and met like the counselor and the custodians and the cafeteria workers and the principal and the secretaries, and they went and visited all of them and talked to them about what their job was and how they did. And then last Friday, we had a career day parade, so all of them dressed up in their career day, like the chosen career that they think they want to be, and then we walked through the halls of the elementary, and they got to show off their career that they've chosen.
Well, you could have dressed up, walked in with the pre-Kers.
That's it. That's it. So we had dyslexia awareness was also last week, and so on Friday, our dyslexia students, 2nd through 5th grade, went to Region 8, and they participated in a presentation, and they, as you can see in the picture, there was somebody who was reading to them, and then afterwards they left and they went by Dairy Queen and got some ice cream, and actually the Dairy Queen in Naples donated the ice cream cones, so we've sent them a thank you letter because they donated for every kid to get an ice cream cone. And then our TEPSA, so our students in leadership won the TEPSA Student Leadership Award, and so they went to Royce City and they participated in a leadership conference, but at that conference they accepted their award, and so there's a picture of all of them accepting their award at the TEPSA conference in Royce City. And then below their picture are some things that they have going on. So this Wednesday, they will go to Region 8 and the Leadership Summit, which is all principals and assistant principals. They will present a 45-minute session about student leadership councils. Because they won the TEPSA award, they reached out and they're going to present and talk about elementary leadership councils to the other schools in Region 8. They provided good luck cards for the band, and then we're currently in Socktober collecting new socks for until October 21st. And then they have Kindness Week coming up that they're going to start planning for. And then the last piece is just upcoming events. We have Red Ribbon Week with dress-up days next week. Region 8 classroom visits for our curriculum, our new curriculum. They're coming on next Monday. Then all of the elementary is going to see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at Redwater. And then we have Halloween parties, the pep rally, teacher prep day, and report cards go home. And then in November the 11th, we have Veterans Day program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening again. Middle school and high school attendance, like Ms. Howe was saying, has kind of been hit this last couple weeks or days. We had a drop pretty much at about 2% from last month. We were 96 something, last month. This month, we're at 94.48. My 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade were pretty good. 7th is a little bit low, but then our 11th grade is the one that really had a big hit on sickness and different things that are going on. Our enrollment is still up from where we were in the past few years. We're kind of hitting that plateau now, where we were last year to where we are this year. Some highlights that we had this past month was that our middle school students went with Miss Julie Hawkins, who is doing her middle school student council, went to the senior citizen luncheon. They presented what their program is, what they're planning on doing, some different activities. One of those activities that they did was some fundraising type activities that they ended up spinning off and using somewhere else, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, and combine with somebody else. But one of the other things that's going on right now, Mr. Barron's AgMed classes have started their projects for their competitions and started heading to the Dallas State Fair this week. They'll be traveling to show at sooner locations, San Angelo, Fort Worth, and possibly Houston. You'll see there's a picture of one of the knives that they've been making with the new forging tool that they have. And they did an axe last year. This year they're doing some knife deals, some twisted knives. They haven't got to the Damascus and stuff like that for that knife deal, but they're getting into some of that material. They're pretty excited about it. A few welding projects. There's a couple of tables and there's a chair that has an old tailgate on it. It's really neat. Really cool deals that they have. The band, they got all 2s in the competition this past week. Which is actually a step up, and that there is about 20 of the 46 members that are 8th graders is a huge, huge improvement. Last year, this same week, they went to Pine Tree and scored straight 3s. So we are getting better. We're doing a lot better. So we're pretty fired up right now. It's going in the right direction. Mr. Barron's freshman ag classes received their Green Hand Awards. Which is just something that can help them in the future with some of their ag possible scholarships, different things like that they have in their programs. The thing I was talking about earlier with the student council is kind of one of the other things that popped up. They joined in with the high school and donated a lot of their fundraising money to St. Jude as one of their service projects, which for me is a pretty big thing. It's not often that we raise money and give it back to somewhere else. A lot of our money we try to raise, we try to use to fund some other project that we have or some other need we may have. This was something so that we can give back to others that may be a little less fortunate than us. So things coming up. Tomorrow I have the ACT at our campus, or we have the ACT coming up for our seniors. This Friday will be our peak out day. I believe the girls have their pink shirts, guys their socks, all kinds of things like that. There's an actual peak out shirt for the fans. And then there's the Veterans Day that's coming up, like Ms. House said, on November the 11th. Anything else? Anybody? All right, thank you guys.
All right, I don't have mine. There we go. We'll try to do it off. Football team's 4-2. I bet you I can get this. Football team's 4-2 right now, 1-1 in district play. We'll play.
We're 5-2.
5-2, that is right, 5-2. 4-2 is down there for something else. Let me get it.
You made it one sentence.
5-2 district play. We got a game Friday versus Detroit. Senior night will be the next Friday versus Clarksville. Hope to see a lot of people there. Volleyball plays tomorrow night in Linden. Their senior night is this Friday versus Ore City. Cross country, the junior high girls finished second at the district cross country meet. Several medals were earned. First place, Mallory Bishop. Second place, Kason Pickering. Fifth place, Addison Churchwell. And for the boys junior high division, William Lewis finished seventh. So the top 10 medals, so that's a pretty good deal. Junior high volleyball, junior high A team is 5-2. Junior high B team is 6-1. And the girls are really playing well. And actually, I think that you can add one to each of those. I think both teams won tonight as well. Junior high football is 4-1 on the season, undefeated in district play. They play this Thursday for their first road game in Detroit. And we set our powerlifting meets. We're hosting powerlifting meet February the 2nd, and our last chance qualifier on February the 23rd. All schedules should be up online. If they're not, please let me know, except for the powerlifting schedule. We just set that today.
Thanks, sir. Next item is superintendent's report. On me.
All right, we've got a fence project. If you drive around campus right now, you can see the flags and paint is laid out. I saw the guys coming here after school today. They're doing their final markings. The materials are supposed to be in this week. They're hoping to get all of that started, depending on when the gates. They'll start with those gates first. So we should get that moving here pretty quickly. He still estimates about 3 to 4 weeks once they start for that to be fully completed. We'll do the perimeter fence first, and then the operating gates will go in there at the end before they'll start to be installed. So we've got about a month before all of that's there. Letter B, we've got safety and security upgrades. Just on the other things we talked about last time, classroom safes are all installed and are working. We've had a few folks mess with those, and we got immediate notifications. We were able to know very quickly. All tools that are going in those have arrived and are being placed in there as we go through this week when kids are not present. Communications and detection centers, our servers are here. Mark is working with them diligently to try to solve a few operating system issues. We were going back and forth with them today, but we're very close to having those fully up and running. Safety and security meeting, our next safety and security meeting, November 18th, 12:30. We have that scheduled. So we are required to do the safety and security meetings with our community, and that involves both teachers, community members, law enforcement, emergency response. We do 3 of those per year, one each semester, and then one in the summertime. Along with that, we report to our safety and security, our emergency operation plans, and our drills. Currently, we have all drills that are scheduled and are on pace and schedule as far as completing those drills campus-wide. On our athletic field improvements, our golf practice area has been completed. They came out there 2 weeks ago and got both of those completed for the tee line and also the practice green. So those should be or are up and running. Once we get that going, we met with Carrie today. She's starting to organize as far as the schedule and start to put everything together. That will be typically in the springtime. Collegiate Edu Network, I met with Rachel McClain, who is Dr. Kim Alexander's Chief of Staff. She has given me kind of the cost of programs, of what she feels like that we'll need. We're evaluating those. I'll have more information coming up at next meetings on what those would look like. We do have the P-TECH, which is the pre-K through 20, grade 20, which is associate degree application, is due by December. For us, if we were going to complete that and apply, that would be due by this December. So those would be kind of our next steps to move into that direction. And then we would finish planning for next year and then start implementing those programs a piece at a time over the next few years, is kind of what we discussed. But I'll bring more information on that back for discussion. Facility committee will meet tomorrow night at 6:30 in the cafeteria. We had some really good discourse at our last meeting, and I've talked to our architects and builders who are bringing some of the information back that the committee asked for, revolving around any kind of secondary campus, along with the band hall questions that were asked previously. So they will meet tomorrow at 6:30 and try to answer those questions, and at that point start diving more into goals to bring back to the school board. TASB facility update, it has been updated. I told our TASB representative that I would try to cover those updates, but mainly the roofs, the air conditioners, a lot of the paintings, the door locks. There were several things on there that we were able to check the boxes on. We can spend more time with that at a later meeting, but we do have it updated, and we've got still some of those priorities that we'll now start trying to tackle that were a little less pressing for us. One facility area that we are having to use back here, the old portable building behind the elementary school, had been kind of storage. Ms. Dickens had used at some point. With the new curriculum, we're moving that into more of a curriculum room, but we are also now having to use it for some students. So all that underpinning is going to have to come out. It's all rotted and falling apart. And we're going to try to paint it and trim it. And we've got to re-put a ramp in there that we had to tear out that had fallen apart. So there'll be a little bit of upgrade on it. to get it usable again, but it's not in the best of shape currently. But shouldn't take too much, just a little bit of time to get it back to where it needs to be. Chromebook grant, Mark wrote a grant for 80 Chromebooks, it was just under 30,000. We've got those. So Mark does a good job of trying to find grants that are out there for us, on top of all the other great things that Mr. Forsythe does for us. That was something he came to me about, said, man, I found this grant, I think I can apply for it, get after it. And we were able to get it, which was 80 Chromebooks and just under $30,000 of money. I know he's applied for a couple other smaller grants that we're hoping to get as well coming up, but I wanted to report that he did a good job getting us those. Reminder for board trainings, November 3rd here at Maulet, 6 p.m. And then December the 6th is our training at Region 8 that we typically do in the fall training evenings. They'll feed us and we'll go over there, but we do that December the 6th, every member does need the ISO training that comes along with that. So we have to try to find a time to get there. So if we can make that, that'll give us our team aid in that as well. And of course, November the 3rd will be here in the boardroom.
What if, I might not make it.
Which one?
Send a
November
request.
3rd one.
Okay.
Send a request. You're gonna ride with me, right? I'll bring it down.
All right.
Sounds like you're
It's all right.
I'm supposed to do that high school.
Certainly, whatever we need to. We can talk about it, see who all we're going to have that day, and if we can get everybody together, we can get that. There are some rules they allow us to kind of work with if we have a member so out. If you can't, just let me know individually, and I'll make sure that we find out what we can do. That's all I have for reports.
Next item on the agenda is,
Number 9, we haven't done that one yet.
okay. Consider and approve technology purchase.
Mark has been going through our classrooms. A lot of these old smart boards in the classrooms really are out of date and have stopped working. I think there's 6 boards that he's looking to replace. We have this money in the budget. It's for $28,356.26, but it's SHI. We are not going back with the smart board. They're clear touch panels. I think we had one in the board training. You'll see them around the classroom. They're on wheels and can move. Much clearer picture, much easier to use. Do what? The TV looking thing is what it is. They're about $4,500 or so for each one of those, but we need to replace 6 of these old smart boards with those. So I would recommend to approve it, SHI for $28,356.26.
Any questions or discussion? We have a motion to approve the technology purchase of $28,356.
I'll make the motion.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Next, we'll be going to executive session at 7:09 p.m. Discuss personnel according to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Discussion of personnel, security, Texas Government Code Section 551.076. Discussion of district-wide intruder detection audit report findings, Texas Government Code Section 551.076. We'll have a 5-minute break and then reconvene in executive session. All right, we're coming back into open session at 8:26 p.m. Next item is adjourned. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, feel free to stay.